Did you know that most of the children who are introduced into sexuality, they're introduced by the people that their parents trust most, by those relatives that you trust most, by friends, and those people who are so close to you as a parent. So it's important for you to know that. We appreciate our sponsor, Nadabibi Environmental Conservation Center, and you're all welcome to come and see what they are doing. They are doing a lot in matters concerning conservation in the 21st century, and how to keep our environment safe, and how to grow trees, and making sure that our environment is very safe and clean for us and our children. And you can see their contacts below, their flowing, so that you can reach out on them and see how best you can help. They do trainings. They teach people how to keep the environment safe, clean, and habitable for human beings in the 21st century. Thank you so much. My name is Eunice Wangare. I'm a counseling psychologist, and I'm very passionate about children. I'm passionate about raising a godly generation, and a generation that is very safe. Today we are going to talk about how to introduce children into sexuality and how to teach them about sex. Yes, it's a tough topic. I know sometimes it's shameful to talk about it, but it is very important for your children to know more about sex, because sex is something that is here with us and it is not going anywhere. So it's important for you as a parent to know how to introduce sex education to your children as young as they are. How do you introduce it? One, it is important for you as a parent to tell your children the real things. Let your children know about the sexual parts in an open way without hiding. Tell them the real words without using different words, so that it cannot confuse them. Because if you use a different word, they will go outside there and they will mention it, and then someone who would want to manipulate them can use those words against them. So it is important for you to mention every part with their names and the way they're supposed to be said, so that even when they are out there, someone cannot manipulate them, because they are aware of the sexual parts. Teach them according to their age, and let them know what is a do and what is a don't for them in regards to sexuality. So is it important for you to tell your child that they should not be involved in sex when they are young? Yes, it is very important. How do you tell them? Tell them the real thing, and when they ask you why you and their father sleep together, tell them as it is. Yes, it is because we are married, and married people are supposed to do 1, 2, 3. Tell them the real thing, and tell them married people is marriage is for a man and a woman, and they sleep together because they are married, and explain to them according to their age. Of course, as they grow, you'll go using some other big words for them, but as young as they are, tell them. I remember one day my daughter refused to use the washroom. Why? Because the father uses that washroom, and she was so upset that we are using the washroom for boys. So tell them why it should happen like that, because it is their father, and even if they had brothers in the house, they can still use that washroom. So it is important for you to let your children know. The other thing, it is important for you to tell your children who they should relate with and how they should relate. I said earlier that your children are introduced into sex by those people that you trust most. So let them know if they are uncles, they can only do so much. They can only go to up to this point. And if an uncle tells them to do this, tell them it is not right, it is not good, and give them some space to converse with you easily without any hiccups. Because if you hide and you don't give them room to discuss about sexuality, they might be molested, they could be raped, they could be done for so many things, or even be introduced into pornography without knowing that they're being introduced. So give yourself some space as a parent, so that your children can have confidence in you and tell you, Mom, this is what I am feeling. Mom, this is what it is. The other thing, if your child comes and tells you something about sex, take that positively, and again, let your facial expression not show them like it's a big thing, because it's a thing that is here with us, and sex has been there ever since. So don't show them like it is a big thing, but listen to them and know to what extent that does this child know, and that extent, can it harm them? If it can't harm them, please introduce the other topics like gayism, homosexuality, and all that, and the things that they expect to meet outside the world. But of course, you should be age appropriate. Don't use heavy words on them, because it should be appropriate according to their age. If your child comes and tells you they have watched pornography, what do you do? Yes, it's good to tell you that children have seen pornography. That is for sure, because internet is all over, gadgets are all over, and children are watching pornography in a very high rate, and research has shown that. So if your child tells you that they have watched pornography, how do you do that, and what do you do, and how do you erase that information from their minds? You should sit down with them and listen what they watched, why they watched, who introduced it, and to what extent they have watched, and what they think and feel about it. If you listen to what they think about it, they will tell you it's pathetic, it's not a good thing, because even then they know it is not right for me to watch naked people. It is not right for them to watch people doing what they are doing. So listen to them and know, and let them know it is not good for a child to watch pornography. It is not good for an adult to watch pornography. And if people are watching that, then they're not doing the right thing. Remember, as a Christian parent, you should guide your children according to Christian values, Christian motives, Christian beliefs, so that you can help your child grow in a very good way. Teach them that their bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit. Their mind, what you put in your mind, is a temple of the Holy Spirit. What you put in your heart is a temple of the Holy Spirit. So if you put dirty things, and pornography is one of the most dirty things, then you're dirtifying the temple of the Holy Spirit. If your eyes watch, and your eyes should be part of the temple, if your eyes watch bad things, they are not pleasing God. So let them know that whether they are young or they are old, sexuality is very pure before the eyes of God, and it should not be done in front of people. It should be done where God has ordained. So let your child know watching pornography is very wrong when they are children, or even when they are old. Who introduced pornography to your children? One, surprisingly, most of the children will say that they watch their first pornography from their mother's phones, from their father's phones, from the TV, from your laptop, from your iPads, and all that. So as a parent, you're supposed to be a model. As a parent, you're supposed to be a good example. So if you're telling your children not to watch pornography, yet behind the scenes you're watching pornography, then you're not modeling that child in the right way. If you're telling your children if they see pornographic material, they should tell you, and you're watching them, then it means you're not modeling it the right way, because your child will take your phone and then they'll come across that material. What are you going to explain to your children that you are doing that pornography material? Tell them if they have a phone that you are using at home, and maybe some people, because some people just send some pornographic materials, and you cannot control what other people do. Tell them if you see a site that has pornographic material, don't open it, and make sure that you have seen it as a parent. But most of the times they see these things through your phone. So as a parent, as a mother, as a father, make sure as you're teaching your children not to watch pornographic materials, you are also not watching, because they will come across those materials and you will not see what has gotten into their minds. Remember, when those things go to their mind, they will never erase. It is important as a parent to take care of them. The other thing, if you find out that your child has watched pornography, what do? Sit down with them, listen to them, and then show them that the world has now come to an end. Because you might create a lot of anxiety, you might create a lot of hopelessness, but show them there is hope. There is hope. Even after watching that pornography, there is hope that you can get yourself back. But what you stop is letting them know it is not right. Whether it is your uncle, it is your auntie. We have left our children with the house helps. We do not know what these house helps do in the house. And maybe they watch them on their TV. So help them know, even if you find someone watching those pornographic materials, you report them. And you also, as a child, you give them permission to also tell other children that it is not good to watch people who are naked. It is not good to watch people who are dancing in a bad way, because we are teaching our children that these are the temples of the Holy Spirit, and we should keep the temples very clean. It is very important for you to do that. Make sure that any opportunity is a teaching opportunity. Teach your children according sexuality, anytime, anywhere, anyhow, so that they can understand it. Because how we were raised is not the same way we are raising our children. Why? Because these children are watching pornographic materials all over. Look at the adverts that are advertised outside there. They are advertised, and they are so pornographic. Look at the TV. The pornographic materials are there all the time. Look at even the newspapers, even everything. Pornographics are all over. So teach them anywhere, anyhow, anytime, so that they can understand and know to what extent they should go, and prepare them also knowing. You know, sometimes we tell our children that they get pregnant when they sleep with a man or they sleep with a girl. Explain that, because if you don't do that, they will go sleep on the chair because they think it's supposed to be done in the bed. Please teach them, let them know how it is done, so that you don't get your child into problems without knowing. We say knowledge is power. Let us equip our children with the right knowledge. Let us equip our children with the right materials. Let us encourage our children. If they see something that disturbs them, let them ask before they do it. Before you do it, ask your mother. Before they do it, let them have a person they are asking. And if you're sending your children to go and visit their relatives, be very, very careful. I said that children are introduced into sexuality by those people that you trust. If they go visit their uncles and their aunties, let them know the boundaries. This is the match that my uncle can go. This is the match that my auntie can go. This is the match that I can do. Because if you just release them and let them go, they'll be molested there by those people that you trust so much, and there's nothing that will be done. And then children are told not to never say. And what will happen? They will stay with that, and then they'll be very vulnerable to be misused sexually by other people. So be very, very careful. Be very intentional as a parent. Even as you send your children to go, please get to know what they do with who. Please get to know what they do with their cousins. Please get to know what they do with their uncles, because so much is happening outside there and there's nothing you can do about it, and you cannot control what other people think. You cannot control the world. It is you and your child. Please protect them from sex predators, because children can be very vulnerable. If you don't protect them, then they might think that they're doing the right thing, yet they're not doing the right thing. So it is your work as a parent to protect your child and to take care of them sexually, because they can be harassed sexually by those people who feel like they can misuse your children. So as a parent, take care of them and also guide them accordingly. When they have information with them, when they know they cannot do homosexuality, when they know they cannot do sexual issues with other people, then they are able to know, because they have information, to what extent they should go, and you have prepared them for the world. Don't show them like the world is ending. Prepare them for the world, so that even when they go out and meet people there, they know how to handle themselves, they know what to do, what is expected of them, and to what extent people should go as far as sexuality is concerned. If you teach them that their private parts are their private parts and no one should touch them, then you will be able to help them know that no one should touch them. No one should touch them. And if that happens, then they will be able to tell you accordingly and at the right time, so that you can help them and protect them accordingly. So as a parent, take care. Know that those people that you trust most are the ones that can harm your children so easily, and you might not know because you feel like you trust them. And if your child tells you something about those people that you trust, kindly listen and guide those children accordingly. So many children have gone through rapes, pains, and so much through the people that you trust most. So as parents, listen to your children and let them explain to you what has happened to them and how you can save them, how you can help them, how you can guide them, and shield them from those evil people who are preparing to harm our children. Thank you so much. Until then, God bless you.